So today we're gonna be talking about pronouns because honestly, pronouns are getting out of pocket, man. And I know you guys definitely agree with me. We got people go by E, M, and ears. What the is ears? Anyway, you know you tripping.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the recording. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. I know I am. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Boy, this flu has been sticking around for, I think I'm on day 8 now. It's all just kind of stuck all up in my facial region currently, but I'm starting to get my energy back and feel a little bit better. I had an interesting story here for you. Pokemon, the card game, many people know Pokemon, the franchise, but Pokemon, the trading card game, is actually quite popular. It's one of the top 5 trading card games out there. In fact, there's been a time, I think, where it's been the number 1 or close to the number 1. Obviously, Magic the Gathering is the king of that. But in recent years, Magic the Gathering has decided that it wants to get woke and obsess over gender ideology and pronouns and race swapping characters and all sorts of stuff like that. Pokemon had been relatively free of that until recently, when in a competitive event, a player that was competing for the biggest prize, right, was disqualified for merely chuckling when being forced to mention his preferred pronouns. Now, before we get into the story, just a quick note. I'm going to put a link in the description below. Coffee Brand Coffee, brand new today, just launched 2 new cold brew flavors. We've always had our Colombian. That's one of our top selling items. But now we roll out our premium dark roast and our Ethiopian as cold brew products. They come in individually pre-measured bags. You just throw it right in a jar like this, throw it in your fridge overnight, and you've got delicious cold brew coffee ready to go. We're even looking at adding some flavors soon, but for now, these 2 are out there now. I think you're really going to love them. I'm going to give you a chance to pick them up early. Link in the description, promo code The Quartering to save. And I'd love to get your reviews on them too. Pokemon card tournament DQs, thus disqualifies player for laughing while saying his preferred pronouns. Makani Tran lost out on $800, 2 flights, and time off school after his time at the Charlotte Pokemon Regional was cut short for a bizarre reason. In a tweet longer, the youngster revealed that his weekend turned to tears before he could even make a move against his opponent. One of the United States' best players on stream, according to Tran, as he walked over to the stream area, a judge asked him what his preferred pronouns were and seemed to fumble over his words. That's when the trouble started. In his post, Tran said that his nerves got the best of him when he was asked about his pronouns, leading to the response, he or him or Tran claimed that he struggled to think of a third pronoun and felt embarrassed that he tried to do so, resulting in him nervously laughing. Now, to be clear, this is some judge on a power trip. By the way, if you ever played Magic the Gathering, you know judges are often on power trips, forcing gender ideology on some kid. Tran claimed that he struggled to think of the third pronoun and felt embarrassed, so he said, After Alex shared his pronouns without issue, Tran followed up by resharing his, but once again awkwardly laughed. This resulted in the Pokemon card judge taking issue with how Makani replied. Okay, just wanted to check to be safe. I go by they, them, so don't be a jerk about it, the judge reportedly said, again to a kid. A bit into the match, Tran and Shramsky were pulled off stage by the head judge and told that another match would be streamed instead. It turns out the way Tran had answered the pronoun question had caused some issues internally. After admitting to awkwardly laughing due to nervousness, he was disqualified. The judge said that while he believed I had no bad intentions, it didn't matter because at the end of the day, someone was offended and upset. For his part, Alex Shemansky even noted on Twitter that he didn't feel his opponent should have been disqualified, but added that judges are unable to share their side of the story. So I'm actually at a loss for words. I don't even know what to say right now. So people got together and put a GoFundMe. So Luckily, the story does have a bit of a happy ending. After a disastrous disqualification, a GoFundMe was set up to replace McConaughey's expenses. It already surpassed $1,500 by over a grand. It's at $3,000 now, and I think I'm going to probably give him some money. Because what they did to this kid is absolutely absurd, ridiculous, and this is what they ended up doing to him. And they ended up like really affecting his mental health too. You can see, hi everyone. I know a lot of you have questions about everything that happened this weekend, and I'm sorry I couldn't inform you what went down sooner. I have put a lot of thought into caution in making this. It's a topic I don't take lightly, and it's not something that I should be messed about. But with that said, here's everything that happened. It started on round 6. I was 5-0 and had just hit Alex Szymanski, a very well-known player, as well as a very skilled player. With all this in mind, I was obviously a bit nervous. Keep in mind, I had been on stream 2 times prior, but it was always nerve-wracking before being in front of so many people. I went to my table, saw Alex Judge standing there. The judge informed us that we were going to be playing on stream. I was excited, and of course, we were starting to walk over to the stream area. On our way over to the stream, the judge asked us for our preferred pronouns. I said, he or him or and I paused trying to think of a third pronoun, the third pronoun being his. As I just stood there looking stupid trying to think of a third pronoun, I felt embarrassed because I was failing to think of a simple word. Due to the nerves and me being embarrassed, I let out a little laugh, just a normal, nervous laugh. My response together ended up being, he or him, and haha, his. That's it. That's all I said. Anyways, after that, we continued to walk and reached our stream area. Just to clarify, the judge asked one more time, what are your guys' preferred pronouns? Alex says he and him. And then I say, yeah, he and him, and haha. The little laugh at the end there was because I was trying not to be awkward, because I was just stating the exact thing that Alex had stated. And it was kind of silly for me to be in the scenario. I mean, look, I've played in huge Grand Prix or Grand Prix for Magic the Gathering where you have thousands and thousands of competitors. Being undefeated, playing Magic the Gathering for 8-10 straight hours and being undefeated in an entire day still doesn't even really guarantee any kind of top level finish. That's how good you have to be. You have to be 13, 14, 15 and 1 or 0 to really make the finals. And so as each match you win, I've played in these events, with each match that you win, the pressure gets more and more. The pressure goes higher and higher because, well, the pressure to stay in the tournament, to stay undefeated. And then once you get that first loss, and then eventually that second loss, which will usually take you out of the second day of competition, people usually end up relaxing and having some fun. But this is a very tense scenario with probably lots of money on the line, lots of prizes on the line, things of that nature. And even if the kid did laugh, by the way, who cares? Now, things escalated here. The head judge tells me that he was sorry and that it sucked, but I was disqualified due to Pokemon's policy. At which point I'm on the verge of tears, but I try my best to keep my composure. I just couldn't understand what was happening. Was the judge just not listening to anything I told him? Was he trying to look at my side of the story at all? One last time I asked if I can appeal, if there's anything I could do. I asked if there's another judge I could talk to the judge that I had upset, but all my requests were refused. The head judge then tells me that it was already done and that they had disqualified me. I asked, so you've already disqualified me even though I just told you what happened? He said, yes, I know this sucks for everyone involved and I'm sorry we have to do this. I started bawling my eyes out. I felt it was so unfair. I was extremely polite and calm through the entire thing. I felt I had handled the situation very professionally, and the judges had just not listened to me at all and disregarded everything. In tears, I said, you guys didn't even listen to me at all. I felt helpless and unheard and unbelievably upset. I told the head judge that I had just spent $800 and took 2 flights to make it to this event, and that I had missed school for this. And I said, my whole life I worked so hard to get to this point, to have it all taken away from me for no reason. I thought to myself, there's absolutely something you can do about this. It's absolutely unjustified. And they stuck through it anyway. This is when stuff, again, this is why I left Magic the Gathering. I mean, eventually, obviously, they banned me for life. But this is what ruined the tournament scene. What it was, and what it is with these social justice warrior losers that end up infecting the game scene is that maybe they were bullied when they were young or something, or they think that they were, or some scenario like that. But the fact of the matter is they end up being the bullies. They force you to use pronouns. And by the way, why are you even asking some kid about their pronouns? And why are you getting in their face and screaming at them and disqualifying them from an event that you spent lots of money to attend? Why? Just because you don't feel validated by some random teenager? I mean, what a pathetic existence that must be for whoever was involved in this. This is an absolute disaster. I'm probably going to throw the kid a few bucks on his GoFundMe. Looks like he's doing just fine, but out of principle, I will. And obviously, he's very well supported in the community. And it's sad to see. Make sure you, if you don't remember, pick up your cold brews. The link will be in the description below. We just launched them today. You can be one of the very first people to try them and leave your reviews. And I would greatly appreciate that. Promo code TheQuartering, and you'll save a few bucks on it as well. And we'll talk to you again real soon.